Hey guys, Jeff here, full-time reseller. Doesn't quite have the same ring it had a week ago. I really wanted to get a video up last night, but to be honest with you, I was just too deflated. And I'm not really that much more enthused today. I've got a headache, my head is killing me. I believe it's a stress headache. Wow, something is really resonating with you guys, because let me just tell you a story. Like, I'm a nobody here on YouTube. Up until Sunday, I probably had like 70 subs maybe, and it took me 72 days to get that, give or take a few days. And it might, anyhow, so since I posted that one video, now I have like 350 subs, and it's 350 quality subs, because the comments, you guys are super intelligent, and I respect you guys and I appreciate you guys, and you make me feel like I'm not alone in this. You make me feel like I'm not crazy. I've gotten many messages about how people are thankful that someone is kind of like speaking up about this, and I don't understand why more resellers who actually have large followings are talking about this. I mean, maybe the bigger you get in YouTube, the more you don't say, because you have perceived risk of loss, of losing like subscribers or whatnot. You guys have, and there's so many comments that I haven't really been able to respond to. There's so many comments that I want to share, but I just wanted to get something up. I'm going to try to make this not as long as the last video, because my brain is all over the place, but there's a couple things that I definitely want to get out there so we can continue the dialogue, and people can give feedback, people can brainstorm, people can network. So somebody sent me, somebody emailed me and sent me a video. Well, he told me that he had passed on some of the information that I was talking about to Rockstar Flipper. Now, I don't know him. I don't know anybody in the YouTube community. I know nobody. I just want to make this 100% abundant. YouTube is very cliquey, I will say that. And yeah, I know nobody. Like, so apparently this person watches Rockstar Flipper, so maybe he knows him, maybe he's just knows him through messaging or leaving comments. And so he did Rockstar Flipper. I think that's his name. I think his name's Casey. I've seen a few of his videos. So he did a video, like a 5-minute video, kind of like talking about the traffic drop or the impressions drops. But it was weird. Like when the chart that he showed doesn't look like our charts. Well, and what I mean by that is because so many people are agreeing with me that on the 17th is when everything kind of went to shit. So Rockstar Casey's chart showed on the 6th this massive drop. But if you look at the chart, his organic traffic was super high on the top, and his promoted listing impressions was very low, and then there was a huge drop from his organic. So I don't really understand, like, something just doesn't make sense about that chart for me. And there wasn't really that big of a drop on the 17th for him. So I don't know what to make of that. Anybody have any thoughts on that? And okay, so where do I want to go here? It's not me, and it's not you. It's 100% eBay at this point in time. I had 2 sales yesterday. I sold a ticket stub, which I believe I talked about, and a soccer ball. And then I had a bunch of local sales lined up, and they all fell through but one. So I sold one picture for $60, which I thought I was going to do so much better. And that's the problem with local sales, is they're meant to be more of a supplement to an online reselling business. They're not meant to be a replacement. So I turned my I turned my promoted listings off at 3 yesterday. I mean, I only do 2 and 3.5% on. I mean, I had bumped it up to 3.5% on my wife's store. But I'm like, you know, some people were saying that they had turned theirs off and that made a difference, and I'm just like, well, okay. I mean, I'm not getting any sales anyhow, so what's the harm? But literally from 3 to 3 a.m., which is when I went to bed, I did not have a single sale all day. I barely had any offers that I was eligible to send. I had nothing. I think at this point, so I did turn them back on, like basically like 2.5% on both, just for something. And I got one sale overnight, like some board game pieces from a Mork and Mindy board game from the 80s. Nothing, basically nothing. And at this point, I don't even see the point of even talking about what I sold. I'll get to that in a minute. So at this point, I think we're past the argument, is eBay withholding sales? 100% they are. eBay has turned into, and this might be a harsh comparison, but they're kind of like the mafia at this point. All right, like if you take out the word promoted and you interchange it with protected, you know, it's kind of like somebody coming up to you and saying, hey, we'll protect your listings if you give us 15%, right, for right now. It might go up, it might go down. You give us 15% more in addition to the 15% that you're paying already. We'll make sure that your listings are seen. So, I mean, they should just call it protected listings, because 100%, based on all the feedback, let's just say, that I'm getting. I mean, you tell me what business model is out there that prior to, so promoted listings came in 2015. I would say it never really became a problem until they made they changed the minimum from 1% to 2%. I believe that is kind of like the D-Day. Let's just call it D-Day from now on. Because from that moment on, I believe eBay has they had a vision, and they have a vision for where they're going, and I do want to talk about that. It's purely speculation on my part, but a few things are starting to make a little sense. Hopefully I'll remember to get back to that. But what business model? Okay. Yeah, what business model? So prior to D-Day, we essentially had an arrangement with eBay, and it was basically 15%. We have a place to list. We have a place to sell items, sell everyday common items, sell non-common items, in exchange for, they take the final value fees and they bring us traffic. So what business model so now we still have to pay that, and we still have to pay it on the shipping, and we still have to pay it on the tax, which, wait, is it on the tax? I'm not sure if it's on the tax of the final value fees are on tax. I mean, it's so confusing. And I have another story about that, about a customer rep that I talked to last night. So basically eBay is like, they basically want us to pay at least 15% now. to just get traffic. So we're still having to pay our original deal, but now we have to pay more. And that more is so significant because it's not just on the item. If it was on the item, it would still suck. But having that 15% on the shipping and on the tax, it actually makes your overall percentage due to eBay probably closer. Like, so if you're doing the 15% final value Bs, 15% promoted listing, and then the extra, because it's like, it would probably be like closer to like 35%. So what kind of business model out there can say, you still have to pay for the services that we were giving you before, but now you're going to have to pay 100% more to do the same things that you were doing before? This is going to be devastating. Like, devastating across the board. And it's 15% now, but what's it going to be in the future? Because the early adopters of promoted listings have probably done well, but at what cost? Okay. Concept number one, and this is in no order. Reselling, as we know it, is in jeopardy. I don't want to say it's dead, because that's so... It is in some serious jeopardy right now. And if something doesn't happen, if something doesn't change, if enough people do not voice their opinion with eBay, they're just going to walk all over us, and a lot of people are going to be hurt. Like, a lot of resellers, a lot of small resellers are just not going to be able to do it. And this is what scares me the most, because my superpower is reselling. Like, being able to source things, find things. It's like a superpower. And this is why I'm so deflated right now, because I feel like somebody just dumped a bunch of kryptonite in my house. Like, I literally feel like I can't really move. I can't think. I don't know what direction to go. And this brings me back to, why are more of the larger YouTubers who have a massive audience, why are they not talking about this? And maybe they are. I haven't watched anything in the last day or two. But here's why they should. And nobody is going to do anything unless it affects their bottom line. No, like, this is just human behavior. But let's just say I'm right. Let's just say that as we know it, reselling could be dying a very quick death, because this, in my opinion, this has happened kind of overnight. Let's just say reselling is dead. And this is why the bigger YouTubers, and I'm sure there's some of you out there that have, you know, relationships on a impersonal level, but there's maybe some people out there that know some of these people. And I'm a nobody, so for me to contact them is, they would be like, well, what's your angle? I don't have an angle. I just want to be able to resell like I was. I just want to be able to do what I do. But here's why they should pay attention. Is if reselling is dead or dying or on life support, nobody's going to be watching flip videos. Nobody's going to be watching what sold videos. Because people watch these videos to educate themselves, to potentially better their lives of their family by learning how to resell things. But if it's too difficult to do now, they're not going to be watching these videos. Like my YouTube has had like a little mini explosion, and it's actually stressful to me as well, because I don't have the answers. And this isn't really even what my YouTube channel was supposed to be about. It was supposed to be about what I sold and how I sourced, and I actually in some ways feel like this is actually unsustainable. I mean, I'm not even worthy of all the like, you guys are so smart, you're so intelligent, like the comments and stuff, like I want to read them all to you guys, but and I just don't know. I just don't know what the landscape of reselling is going to look like if this is the new normal, paying eBay 35%. How is that? It's not even fun anymore. It's not profitable when you factor in taxes, you factor in shipping costs continuing to rise, you factor in the competitive nature of reselling. So, what can we do? We can voice our opinions. That's one thing that we can do. There is strength in numbers. Like my wife was saying something last night, like, do like a call to arms. Like, if everybody just stopped doing promoted listings, everybody in the YouTube community, it's not going to happen. That's idealistic. I get that, but there's something there, and I don't know it, but there is something there, and we need to be thinking about that. So if you guys are as worried about reselling as I am, if you're worried about your numbers as much as I am, we need to get this information out there. Like, not my information. I'm not asking you to like share my stuff to improve my situation. I'm asking you just to get that concept out there to the bigger YouTubers that reselling is in trouble. All right, while I kind of gather my thoughts, I'll tell a story about yesterday. I called into eBay, and I don't know why people are having problems calling into eBay. Like, basically, I bookmark the page where it's more difficult right now. You have to like request a call back and then they call back. But I mean, I can always get somebody on the phone. So I called last night. I don't really know why, to be honest with you. Like, looks like I have a decent sale locally coming up later tonight, but it just doesn't even really matter right now in my mind. So I called in, basically kind of complaining, wanting, I keep hoping I'm going to get like a really good person and they're going to be able to, but that's just a pipe dream. But somehow, so I was trying to get some clarity on the promoted listings. And I know it's very clearly stated on the page for promoted listings, but I hadn't seen that. So at this point, I'm still like wondering, like, if somebody buys something from you and then through a promoted listing and they come back, do I have to pay the promoted listings on that? And so I asked the guy, honest to God, I gave him this scenario. I said, if you buy a hat from me and I have a promoted listing on that, you click on a link, you come to my site and you buy that. You get the hat, and then next week you decide, oh, I had such a good experience, I'm gonna go back to, you bookmarked my site and you came back not through a promoted link, but you just came back to my store and you bought a shirt. Do I have to pay a promoted listing fee on that item as well? Honest to God. And this guy was in the States. So not that there's anything wrong with people who are like, I know a lot of people give grief to the people in South America or the Philippines, but they're doing the best that they can. And I've talked with some amazing people. And so he was in the States and he goes, no. He's like, if you didn't go through a promoted link, you don't have to pay that. And I'm like, are you sure? He's like, I think so. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense at all. And I'm like, can you just humor me? Can you just humor me? Can you just go talk to the supervisor just to get clarity? I was on hold. I was on hold for a while. You know how they like always have to check back every 2 minutes? That didn't happen. It was like on hold, on hold, on hold, and like 5 minutes goes by, and then I get another call and I notice it's eBay. But I don't want to jump off this phone, but and then I declined, and then still on hold for like another 3 or 4 more minutes, and I'm like, what is going on? I get another call from eBay, and I'm thinking, well, maybe he got disconnected and he's calling me back. So I switch over, and I don't know if he just found out the answer and didn't want to talk to me, because it would have been awkward, because it's so unfair that the way that eBay has structured, eBay has basically, and I know James talks about this all the time, basically on My Boring Reseller Life, is he talks about how eBay is trying, and it's succeeding in the current capacity to get away from all organic traffic. All right, so why is eBay doing this? Wait, was there something else that I want to talk about? I had a thought this morning. eBay is obviously trying to emulate the Amazon model. I kind of believe that they're trying to phase out small sellers. Like they just, and the president has openly said that they don't want to deal with people who sell, not deal with people, but essentially, I'm paraphrasing, they don't want people listing smaller price items. So it's possible, like we've had some dialogue on the comment stream, why would eBay want to do what they're doing? Because it seems like they're intentionally driving away traffic from smaller sellers, and then there's some people who are having amazing sales. So one theory that I thought of this morning is that eBay is trying to emulate the Amazon model of, let me back up. I used to sell on Amazon like 5 or 6 years ago, and I kind of regret letting my Amazon, I kind of just let it die. And why I sold on Amazon is because we got higher prices on certain items, but we paid it was at the time, I think it was 30%. I always found that to be really, really just horrible. And they could control the shipping costs. I didn't like that. And so, but you can get higher prices. This is my point. So I think eBay is trying to sell higher priced items, and for that they want to take, let's just say 35+%, because this is starting to seem like what's the new normal. And when I was on the phone with eBay last night, they were talking about, advertising is just a normal cost of e-commerce now. I love how eBay is trying to dress themselves up as yes, they're e-commerce, but that's the draw of eBay has always been that anybody can do it. Mom and pops and even teenagers could do it. It's not hard to do. It's accessible for anybody of any class. And it really feels like eBay is trying to be classist now. They're trying to be but here's the difference, here's one of the differences, is that on Amazon, it feels like the buyers they have different mindsets. People who buy on Amazon don't care about price. They do, but they don't. Because I don't even think Amazon has best offers. It's you set the price and that's the price, and you're either going to pay it or not. So you can sell certain things on Amazon and you can get a premium, and it's okay if you are paying 35%. It feels okay. But on eBay, you can't do that. You might have an item listed for, you might have an item on Amazon that sells for $30 that you paid $1 for, and you might pay 35% fees, but it's okay because you're still making money. But on eBay, you pay $1 for an item, you list it for 30, you get an offer for 10. You make a counter for 24, you get a counter for 11. You counter at 22, you get a counter for $11.50. And then if you accept it, then you got to pay 35% fees on that. It's not the same. It's pointless, to be honest with you. So eBay wants to get rid of, let's just say, I don't know, 80% of its seller base, and really focus on the top 20% that make them money, and then charge them 35%. I mean, these numbers, these are just for examples. This is just for illustration purposes, and this might be completely speculation, but I'm just racking my brain trying to figure out, why are they doing this? How do they think that people can make money doing eBay? And I really want to, like, for some reason I keep coming back to, like, the top YouTube community resellers and whatnot. Like, I'm telling you, like, people are not gonna, they're gonna stop watching your videos, not because they're your videos, but because reselling, there's gonna be no point. I mean, unless it's for pure enjoyment. I mean, yeah, you could say that, you know, people watched American Pickers or people watched those things, but I don't think the masses, I don't think the amount of people are going to be interested in picking videos or reselling videos, because I think most people who watch them, they thoroughly enjoy it because they do it on some level, whether it's part-time. Okay, so anyhow, it's a really important concept to get into the DMs of the people, the top people who in YouTube who do this. I'm gonna wrap this up, and I might even, there's so much I want to talk about, but I just wanted to get some important concepts out, and then see what kind of dialogue comes from that. So the problem with this theory is, with eBay, the problem and the opportunity, there's two. So there is some potential good news, but not really, but that's still in theory. But the problem is that if eBay, let's say they have the top people, and this could explain why some people are getting amazing sales, is that eBay is kind of picking and choosing who gets the traffic. For some reason, they've gone through, they've looked at numbers, and they're like, okay, it's like they're picking their team. They're saying, this is who we want on our team. Everyone else, we don't care about. But the problem with that is, once they have their team, people switch teams all the time. And if you have a much smaller seller base, every time you lose somebody, it's going to have a significant impact on eBay. I mean, I would think an 80% drop off in sellers is going to have a huge impact on eBay's bottom line. But for some reason, are they thinking that they can make it up with luxury items, or like, and I wouldn't be surprised if in the future, this thought just come to me, is if eBay tries to get like exclusive contracts with sellers to be like, only sell on our platform. I could totally see that coming. So just chew on that for a little bit. Tell me if I'm crazy. Now, the opportunity is 100%. If any, and maybe there's a current, let me ask you guys this. What do you think is the #1 replacement online selling platform out there? Is it Mercari? What do you think for, like, I know some of these online platforms are very niche, like I believe Poshmark is like really good for clothes, but for the everything seller, for somebody who wants to sell anything and everything, what is the #1 online platform next to eBay? Okay, so there's a massive opportunity here. If anybody out there was ever thinking about starting kind of like in eBay, in the vision of what eBay was supposed to be, now is the time. Like, I do believe that if that doesn't exist already, that it's got to be coming. It's got to be coming. And there was something else I wanted to say, but I think I lost it. So I'm just going to leave it at this for now. I'm pretty gutted. Like, yeah, I don't know. I feel for you guys. I feel for me. And I don't really, like, I can't really even see straight. I can't even, like, think, because it's just like, what is going on? I feel like I've been blindsided. And I know I'm just saying a lot of the things of how you guys feel, but again, I can't thank you guys enough for, you know, your words, your thoughts. You know, somebody made a comment about the algorithm and how it's changed, and you know, what are we gonna do? Like, how are we gonna profit from this? And it's a good way to get thinking in terms of how can we, but I don't know if eBay wants us anymore. Like, like, prior to all this happening, I already felt that eBay really didn't care about us as sellers. You know, they're so often harsh in punishments that are unfair and unjust, but this is like next level. So all right, I'm gonna leave this video just went so long. I apologize. Like I said, there's so much I want to say, but I'm gonna leave it at that for now. Let me know what you guys think. Take care.